Hello everyone, I'm Yosho and this is...
EnemyKhan.
And it's... You interrupted me. No. But it is spooky season. You see the skeleton? That's what it hints at. It is spooky season. It's almost Halloween. So I figure, you know what? Let's do something a little spooky before the big reveal I have for Halloween. So Mr. Skeleton's here, we're here, and we're going to count down each of our personal top 5 scariest moments in gaming. And without further ado, enjoy.
So my number 5, coming from Super Mario Galaxy 2, is Hell Valley Skytree. So in Shiverburn Galaxy, there's these 3 aliens that are standing on top of the cliffs around you, and they stare down at you. They don't really affect the gameplay, and it's just a creepy Easter egg. However, there's no explanation for why these are here, and in the files, they're called Hell Valley Skytree. Who knows what that means? I don't think it means anything good, though.
For my number 5, we have the final boss of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which I usually refer to as Majora's Wrath. That's just one of its multiple forms. See, the thing about this is it's so scary. Like, it goes from having tentacles to being a humanoid to being like an even buffer humanoid, and it's just crazy. And you can see the fear in Link's face every time. You're in like this crazy circus, like infinite circle that just never ends. And the boss fight is like, it's not easy. It's tough, and you have to sit through it, and it is just creepy, and I hate it.
Alright, so for my number 4, this comes from Super Paper Mario. In Chapter 2-4, the boss fight against Mimi. Basically, she gets mad at you that you broke her favorite vase, and makes you go through a process of trying to get rubies and pay it back, and then basically you get down to the basement and you find her. She then gets mad at you again, but this time, instead of just disappearing, she snaps her neck, spins it around, then grows a bunch of spider legs and walks around, and you have to fight her. Keep in mind, this game is rated E for fucking everyone. This is a kid's game, basically. And this shit's happening. There's a lot darker stuff in this game, but I thought this was personally the most scary.
E for evil. So for my number 4, I chose something from Luigi's Mansion, and that would be the game over screen. And this scene, let me tell you, it creeped me out so much as a child. Basically, if you fail, if you die, get a game over, you see Luigi standing outside of the mansion with his face all flooped down with like black eyes. And it still gets me now, is the crazy part. I always wonder why I'm so traumatized now, and I think I found the answer.
So my number 3 may shock you. It comes from Pikmin. You're probably like, how the hell is this game scary? You command these cute little plant creatures to go fight other creatures and get ship parts for your ship. Well, here's the thing. Basically, Olimar has 30 days to live, as the oxygen on the planet is poisonous to him. When day 30 comes, he has to launch his ship, the SS Dolphin, into space, no matter how many parts he has. If he doesn't have the 25 required parts, the ship crashes back down on the planet. When this happens, the Pikmin carry him back to their onion and have him go inside of it. He then comes out as a Pikmin and fucking sprouts in the ground as they stand there and celebrate. And then the game ends. Olimar's never going to go home to his family, and he's going to be stuck in the ground for all eternity.
My number 3 is from yet another Legend of Zelda game, and that is Majora's Mask. And I'm talking about the moon crashing into the entire fucking world. Now, this is, it gives me chills, I will say that. So basically, you have time, you can time travel and everything, but if you run out of time by day 3 and you can't go back, that's it. The moon crashes into the earth, killing literally everyone. No happy ending, no one person escaped to repopulate or something. It's literally just everyone dies. That's it. All the Gorons, all the Zoras, Link, all the people in the towns, all of them, all the Dekus, they're dead. There is no coming back from it. Moon crashing into them, they're dead. And seeing the moon's face as it crashes down, smiling as it's running into an entire civilization, an entire world, is creepy enough. But then it explodes as it hits into the earth, and everyone you see them fade away.
For number 2, I have the final boss of Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. Basically, you go into a room with King Boo, and he stands in front of, or he floats in front of his Mario painting. He doesn't stand.
He's got
with
his
them.
legs there.
He has his PNG legs. So basically, he's hanging out in front of his Mario painting. Then he talks to Luigi for a little bit, referencing Jabba the Hutt from Return of the Jedi, and then he goes inside of the painting, but it turns into Bowser. It then sucks you in, and you land on top of the roof of the mansion, except it looks like it's in hell. Bowser then lands behind you, and the fight begins. You assume you're fighting like Bowser or something. You're supposed to get a spike ball and shoot at his head. However, when you do this, his head fucking flies off, and King Boo flies out of him. You then have to try to suck King Boo into the poltergust, while Bowser's decapitated head flies around and shoots fire at you. He then puts the head back on and snaps its neck into place, and then he keeps running around like a maniac. And in the last part, when you hit his head, it turns around backwards and he runs around like an idiot. It's just very creepy overall, and the music doesn't help.
At my number 2, we have something from a Pokemon game, believe it or not. Well, you could probably believe there's quite a few spooky things, but I specifically chose Pokemon X and Y, The Ghost in the Elevator. Now, this is a creepy one to me. So basically, you go in this big building, great Lumio City, happy place. You go into this big office building, and you take the elevator to the top floor. But when you get to the top floor, a sprite of a maniac hex girl or hex maniac walks out with no walking animation, just completely floating, and says, all she says is, "No, you're not the one." And then she floats away. You don't see her after that. But what's weird about this is, if this was some Easter egg, sure, it's creepy, but like, it was put in there intentionally. None of the developers remember putting this in there. This was something that none of them could recall or anything. Maybe they were playing a prank on us, I don't know. But it freaks me out every time I think about it. What is the lore behind her? Will we ever figure it out? I mean, X and Y was 2 games ago, so I want to know who is the one she's looking for, and why was she in the elevator with us? It just doesn't make sense. So we're going to say our number one pick at the same time. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, and then after 1, say it, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1, Gygus. Yep, all right, you can start.
All right, so the fight against Gygus at the end of Earthbound is not just the scariest moment in a Nintendo game, it's probably the scariest fucking moment in video game history. This fight is fucking insane. You start out by fighting Porky in like his spider mech, and he's in front of the devil's machine. And then once he takes enough damage, he opens it and releases Gygus. Gygus literally is just the fucking background. He's this big, just red, swirly thing, and it has this distorted face. And he says a bunch of stuff to you, and it's just creepy as hell. And the thing is, you can't hurt him with physical attacks. You have to use PSI, and you have to get Paul to pray, and you're inside of robots, and it's just a fucking crazy fight overall.
Yep, so Gygus, as my good friend Wyatt mentioned here, you have to get Paul to pray. Literally, you're having her pray against what is essentially the devil. Like, this is a big mindfuck of God and devil and whatnot. But what's creepier to me is the forms that Gygus makes. Like, it gets to a part where he makes the fetus of a baby, which is supposed to be a complete reference to when the developer Shigesato Toy saw like an adoption scene or something in a movie and just never got over it. He has
You mean
PTSD.
abortion?
Was it abortion?
Probably.
Did I say adoption?
Yeah.
Okay, abortion scene, and he never got over it. He has PTSD from it, so he put that into Gygus' form. And it really is a heartwarming fight how everyone prays for you and stuff, but it's creepy. He'll start like saying, "Ooh, Ness, it feels so good," and stuff like that, and it just gets creepier and creepier. And as mentioned, he's literally just the background, and you can't beat him by just using normal attacks. You have to pray. That's the only thing you can do. And that's why, in both of our opinions, Gygus is the scariest formation of anything in Nintendo's history. And that was it for our picks. What do you think? Do you agree, disagree? Let us know in the comments what your favorite scariest moments are in gaming.
Yeah. Where'd the skeleton go?